So the point of this isn't to call anyone out. It isn't to say a certain way of doing things is wrong. It isn't to, oh, wait, no, it is. That's exactly what the point of this is. It's to show that there's a difference between people who have something to stand behind and people who are just lazy and have found a way to get away with it. Hey everyone, Doug here with FRL. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about Mow May. From my understanding, the concept of this is to allow your property to grow and not mow the grass for the entire month of May. The reasoning is to allow the flowers and other plants to grow in the lawn to help early season pollinators do what they do. The concept's fine, and I understand why people think it's helpful. But as a person who regularly has to mow my own lawn at least once a week, I cannot imagine waiting an entire month. Again, great concept, great for the environment, I'm told, but it's all about where you do it. If you have a quarter-acre lot in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors all over, do not do this. Do not be that neighbor. If you really want to do it in the backyard, but don't wreck everybody else's view of the road. Don't make it so that your neighbors hate walking out their front door. Just don't do that. Don't be that neighbor. And if you do decide to do this, do it because it's good for the environment. Do it for the right reasons. If you have a farm with 120 acres, whatever, you do you. At that point, it doesn't matter. You've got tons of space. You've got the space to do it. Nobody else has to look at it all the time. Now, here's where I see the issue. Mow May has done something that I can't stand. It's given people who are flat out lazy an opportunity to say, no, I don't mow my grass because it's unhealthy for the environment. No, that's not why. It's because you don't want to get off your butt and push a lawnmower, or you don't want to spend the money to pay a service to do it. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. That's what a lot of this is. I'm the person who bought an infield striping mower so that my yard can constantly have nicely defined stripes. I put a ton of time and effort into it looking as great as early and late in the season as I can make it because I want my yard to look pristine. Is it perfect? No, of course not. But it looks good the majority of the time, and I know that's also not for everyone. Not everybody's going to care that much about their yard. That's just my thing. If you want to support Mow May, that's great. We can all appreciate that. But do it for the right reasons. Keep your yard clean. It doesn't give you the authority to just ignore your yard for a month. You should still be making sure it isn't an eyesore. You could also start to have issues with animals and bugs when your yard is unkept. That's why most towns have rules or laws or regulations on overgrowth and what you can let your yard do. But hey, who doesn't love snakes, am I right? I love when I get called to a property in early June because the 2010 Craftsman 21-inch mower can't handle 18 inches of grass. I talk to the homeowner and they tell me Mow May did a number on their mower. You look at the yard, it's a mess. Obviously, a homeowner lawnmower is not going to get through that. Our lawnmowers, which are commercial, have much bigger motors. They have trouble sometimes and we have to cut multiple times to get it down or even start with a weed whacker. Believe me, I have a vacant property that I'm forced to look at anytime I pull in or out of my driveway or look out my window. If your property looks like that, you have an issue. I cannot stand looking at this place and it just bothers me every day. And the people who own it, because there is an owner, there's just nobody living there, they don't care. They do not give a crap because they're not here. They don't see the jungle that has grown over there and there's nothing that can be done about it. So if your property starts looking like that, you've got an issue, like I said. This is not Mow May. This is you being lazy. And I know most people watching this probably aren't that person, but if you are, or if you know somebody that is, send the video to them and let me be the one that pisses them off and calls them out on it. And a tip for anyone who does take part in this, I'm not telling you not to do it when it's time to mow again. If you try, you will have a ton of clippings turning into wet mush in your yard. Even if you try to bag the grass, it's just not going to catch it all. That will then sit in your yard and kill the grass. It will cause the turf to not be able to breathe. So in trying to do this, you're now actually potentially killing your yard. Also, cutting 12 inches of grass off at a time is not good for the yard and can damage the existing turf as well. You have to slowly come back to a normal height. If you cut off 12 inches, it may be fine, but there's a good chance you're going to damage it. We generally only cut about a third of the grass off at a time. So if your grass grows from 3 to 4.5 inches in a week, we're cutting that third off to get you back down to 3. That's a basic, just well-known piece of cutting grass. You want to go no more than a third at a time. And last, if you call someone, which you should do, Do not expect to pay a normal weekly price to have your yard brought back to normal. You didn't cut it for a month. You should expect to pay a cleanup price or a knockdown price. We call them knockdown prices because it's not a cleanup, it's knocking the grass back down. And I would expect most companies like ours are charging a dump fee for the debris if they have to haul it away. I myself would expect a small yard in that condition to be brought back to normal. I wouldn't expect that to be under $150, $200 easily. It really depends on what's going on and what the dangers are in the yard and how tall it is. It's because of the work involved to bring it back and the risk of damage to the equipment. It's simple. So if you want to do it, go for it. But know at some point you're going to have to bring it back. You can't just not ever mow your grass. If you want to make a meadow, that's the new thing. That's what people do. Make it an actual meadow. Don't just let the weeds completely take over. Actually make it nice. And if you do, be respectful to the people around you. No one wants to take a look at a mess. And again, if you're doing this because you're lazy, stop. Just stop. Go outside and walk around with the mower for an hour. Nobody has time. It's going to take you an hour. Most areas here, around us at least, if you have a quarter acre, half acre, that's a lot. Put a push mower out there. Walk around. Exercise is good. If you don't want to do it, hire somebody to do it. Just get it done. Go out and mow the grass. You're not doing it for the environment. You're doing it because you'd rather watch TV than clean up the yard. It's a simple concept. Now, the people who actually do this to do it, I appreciate you. I understand. Well, I don't, but I like very nice grass that's striped. You like growing it tall for the environment. We each have our own thing, agree to disagree, whatever. But if you're the lazy person, wake up, stop being lazy. Don't try to say you're doing it for no Mow May. Nobody believes you anyway because your yard always looks like that. So that's what I've got. I hope that makes sense to people. Hope I didn't annoy anyone too much. And I'll see you next time. Our next video is going to pop up right over here in a second. Take a look at that. Check it out. It's a pretty good one. And stay safe.